Louisiana, Part 3. You're in a battle in the streets.
Battle Royale.
This video kind of typifies my...
Keep saying typify.
Have I really said that recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a word, but I don't remember saying it recently.
Yeah, you said it when we were talking about the bridge to Terabithia.
Oh, it typifies my problems with... one of my major problems with video games. Okay. Well, it's a good word.
Embodies?
No. Anyway. This typifies. Typifies is still a relevant word. It...
Underscores?
This is like one of my problems
like I
with
get
the
shot
game.
in the head.
It's just another scenario to kill a whole bunch of the same enemies that we've been fighting over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a street with a bunch of cars on it instead of two sides of a river with a bunch of enemies on both sides. And a bunch... I mean, we fought this same flood of enemies a dozen times. And, I don't know. The single player on this game was disappointing. We mentioned in the last video, or I mentioned in the last video, that this is definitely not going to be my game of the year. That's because the single player isn't anything special. The co-op is awesome. I love the co-op, and I love the multiplayer.
And you love the COD.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Couldn't help myself there.
Just speaking for yourself again. Kind of slips out.
Speaking for myself. Fucking asshole.
When you walk too far forward here, you're going to walk over an invisible tripwire. That's going to trigger a whole other wave of bad guys. And you can see them kind of like inching forward and trying to trip that invisible wire. And then run backwards to some cover. Which is what you should do if you're playing on the Superhuman difficulty. Yeah, it's one of the reasons this isn't my game of the year. It's simple-ass Superhuman difficulty. Unlockable difficulty. Fuck unlockable difficulties. It's...
Yeah. If you want to play hard, the hardest, why can't
on
you?
my first time.
Yeah,
this wasn't that hard. Oh, you can see my wireless 360 controller. Wireless PS3 controller died. So that's something I've noticed, and I want, if anybody else has noticed the same problem, let me know in the comments, because I'm curious. I've noticed that my 6-axis controllers lose connection and kind of do that weird thing where it
just continue what you were doing.
It continues the last input that you gave to it.
Yeah. Have you seen it in any other game besides Resistance or Resistance 2? Have you played any other games for the PS3?
Yeah, I played I played Metal Gear and I played Heavenly Sword, but Metal Gear I had the DualShock 3, which has rumble. The DualShock 3, I haven't noticed this problem once.
Mm-hmm.
With the 6-axis, I notice it, every 3 hours or something like that playing. But I don't remember if I saw it in Heavenly Sword. Anyway, if anybody else has noticed the difference between the 6-axis and the DualShock 3 losing connection to the PlayStation and just continuing, whatever the last input that you gave it was, that's something I'd,
you're curious about.
What's the word? Unscientific research that I'd like to do. This sequence right here reminded me of Half-Life 2.
Mm-hmm.
Climbing under the bridge.
Except it's like way
climbing over the girdles. Oh, yeah. Half-Life 2, you had to make some crazy leaps of faith.
And it was high as shit.
Yeah.
It was scary.
This has got it's got mold and shit growing over the inner parts. And this, the beams are wide as hell.
Yeah.
Half-Life 2, you're tiptoeing across it.
Anybody home?
So that big guy shows up in co-op.
Oh, yeah?
He is scary as shit. He fucks you up quick. Real quick. Right quick. With those... He spits those spider grenades.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, he's kind of dirty.
He looks kind of dirty.
This is another thing that drove me fucking crazy about this game. I'm 2 inches away from this guy, and he's talking, like, through the speakers.
And it sounds like he's over a walkie-talkie.
Yeah. But, you know, I'm close enough to him that...
You wouldn't hear... Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd hear him talk.
I don't know. Clearly, their focus wasn't on single player, which is fine. I mean, I'm having a... If I wasn't making so many guides right now, I would be playing this game all the time and trying to get my first platinum trophy for the PlayStation 3. But
I think, even though the multiplayer got poor reviews, kind of.
The multiplayer?
Single player.
Yeah.
Did I say multiplayer?
You said multiplayer.
The single player kind of got bad reviews.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would have been more critically... It'd be more received less good. God damn it! If they scrapped the single player,
single player less good. Ugh, say.
God damn it! I hate you. I think if they scrapped it completely, they'd get worse reviews.
Oh, of course. Well, okay. Do you remember? Okay, you remember the Darkness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever play the single player or the multiplayer for that?
Mm-mm.
This is kind of the opposite situation. The Darkness single player was awesome. The single player was awesome. Multiplayer was tacked on and fucking
Same with
shitty.
Condemned 2.
That had multiplayer?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, I can see that being the exact same.
Uh-huh.
This is the exact opposite. Single player, meh. Multiplayer, co-op is ahead of its time. Really ahead of its time. And single player is like forgettable. Completely forgettable. Other than the ending cutscene. Which is unforgettable because of how out of the blue and kind of ridiculous it is. For those who haven't beat it yet, I won't say what it is. So you can actually beat the game. But I didn't like it. Do you remember the cutscenes in the first Resistance?
No.
Well, so there's going to be a bunch of predators in this section.
Oh, you can kind of see them in the water.
Yeah, kind of cool. Unlike the predator in the movie, they don't start showing up when they get touched by water, though. They don't start short-circuiting. So you have to still watch for their shadows in the water. Anyway, in the first Resistance, the cutscenes, in terms of the amount of time and effort they spent on them, was probably a fraction of the amount of money and effort they spent on these cutscenes.
Mm-hmm.
The first game, the cutscenes was basically, they had a concept artist draw a picture, and they had a narrator talk over that while the picture kind of panned.
Oh, I remember the intro.
In a shitty iPhoto slideshow motion where it would kind of zoom from one corner to the next.
So how the Chimera's taking it over?
Yeah, exactly. They weren't full motion cutscenes. They were just pictures. And it was nothing like you really see in video games. Mm-hmm. In this game, it's like every other fucking game I've ever seen. It's and they weren't that good. The first game, they were original. And they stuck out because of that.
Stuck out?
Stuck out. Is that not a word?
No, it's pronounced stuck.
Stuck out. Oh.
Stuck. You got stuck out. A little bit of Irish. No, God, I hate no, that's it. That's Australian. I can't do my accents right now. Run to the pub and have a pint.
Too much to drink?
I haven't had a sip.
Anyway. Yeah, the cutscenes in this, they were just fucking boring. So I haven't talked more than 2 sentences of strategy on this video. Because
it's the same strategy as the last 10 chapters.
It's the same strategy. Get behind cover, snipe people in the face.
Headshots.
With these games that have regenerating health, it's the same shit all the time. Over and over and over.
That is one of the biggest things I miss about the old first-person shooters.
100 health, and you have to pick up health packs
packs
and armor.
and armor. I didn't even mind the last Resistance, where it's a hybrid.
Or the first Halo.
Mm-hmm.
If we take it, we can get the bomb to Daedalus before he knows what hit him. Check your clips. You can bet they'll be waiting for us up there.